Amplified unit, salute, top of the morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. This is indeed the Amped Up Podcast for Thursday, June the 22nd, 2023. Now, I know what you're thinking, BC. You just put up the Amped Up Podcast for Thursday, June the 22nd, 2023, just a few hours ago, BC. How could you possibly come back with more amplification? That was an hour and a half podcast put up just a few hours ago. You're damn right I did. And here comes at least another half an hour. Bare minimum. It's a double amplification day. A double dose of BC. That's right. You can't count on anybody else to do it right. There's an old saying, if you want it done correctly, you do it yourself. BC's just got to put the community on his back. And I'm going to take everybody to the fucking promised land. So let's go. Put them up. Put your big muscles in the air. If you ain't got big muscles, I don't know what to tell you. Go get yourself some. I'm just playing. I'm playing. That's hard work. I totally understand. You got to get up really early to clang and bang. You gotta go to bed real late to get your night shift in to clang and bang. You gotta be sore the next morning before you clang and bang. I totally understand. It's a lot of hard work to get big muscles. I can't stand it half the time, to be honest with you. It's a lot of hard work. I just really enjoy throwing human beings through brick walls. I really enjoy snapping human beings' necks in half. But I'm a weird dude. What can I say? So in my profession, I need to have big muscles. Or it helps. I think even without, BC would be so amplified. Fuckers would be getting shucked through the brick walls. What are we talking about? Who knows? If you missed the hour and a half of amplification we just put up, check it out, guys. Hour and a half. We go over the Collision rating some more. We talk about Dana Brooke and the heat she got on Tuesday night. And then afterwards, fans were calling for her job to the point where Dana Brooke had to respond. And Mickie James got involved. Mickie James kind of gave a hot take on how she feels it was 100% a wrong decision to have Dana Brooke there. Vince Russo is the white knight in shining armor to come to Dana's defense. And again, wait till you hear what Dana Brooke said in her response to fans. That was such a weird topic, but it had to be discussed. You know, where is Dana Brooke's place in WWE? Has she outstayed her welcome? How did she last this long with no real connection to the majority of the WWE's audience? Of course, she has her fans, but there's never been that real connection, and she's still there, and they have nothing for her on the main roster. They send her down to NXT. It's doing nothing. She gets all the spotlight. I don't know what that really did for Cora Jade. I don't know, man. We talk all about that. We get into the super thankses from my amplified unit, JR9, with his NXT review. Amplified NXT review of week 1 of NXT Gold Rush. So it was a 90-minute packed Amped Up podcast we just put up a few hours ago. After this one, or whenever you got time, make sure you check it out. For this podcast, make sure you smash that up. Help out the algorithm. Bash it. Give it a Batista bomb. Give it a super kick. I don't care if it's Shawn Michaels or you're giving it a double Matt and Nick Jackson Young Buck super kick. Whichever super kick you want to deliver. Maybe that's a Dolph Ziggler super kick. Very underrated. Dolph has a very badass super kick. Who else does really good super kicks, man? Everybody does a super kick, but there's only about a handful that really, man, they take it to the next level. You believe that somebody could be out for about 25 seconds. I don't know. Maybe you guys got somebody that does a good super kick. For this podcast, guys, we are going to talk more. We got to talk more numbers. It's big. We're going to talk the Raw rating. We're going to talk the NXT rating. We're going to talk the Dynamite rating. They all came in within the last 24 hours, guys. We've been focusing on Collision because that's a premiere, right? They have to score big Saturday night. It didn't happen. We talked about it. People cried. People got frustrated. People had to leave the channel. Sucks. It's got to happen. They got to get Das Boot because the truth is not going to stop just because people can't handle it. So we talked Collision, but now we got to talk some crazy numbers. Guys, did Sethington just outdraw CM Punk? What is BC talking about, right? That's what you're asking yourself. Well, wait till you hear these numbers. Of course, Dynamite beat NXT. They're averaging roughly 250,000 viewers more on a weekly basis, roughly. But that's not what we're talking about. The new viewers, right? Punk was the big advertisement for AEW this week. Rollins, Sethington, the big advertisement for NXT. One of them, more than double, almost triple, brought in new viewership than the other. We're going to discuss that. It's all coming up. I have more super thanks as more of you guys threw coffees at the channel, right, at BC. And we're going to go over those, make sure that every single Amplified unit member that threw a coffee to BC, they get an Amplified shout out. And what I would like to do, is this a little ballsy? I guess it is kind of ballsy, isn't it? That's going to take a while. It's over 100 names, for sure. But anyway, the Tube just put up the latest, a refreshed list for channel members, my gold card unit. It is a refreshed list, all of the current channel members, man. They do it about every hour, they refresh the list. Sometimes it takes a few hours. But I saw before I went live that they have the refreshed list. So this is all my current channel members. And what I like to do, I've had channel memberships for roughly 6 months now. And what I've done from the beginning is every now and again, at least a couple of times a month, I give full roll calls, full shout outs from top to bottom of my current channel member list. And since the Tube refreshes it so many times a day, it's a current list. It's all current subscribers that are channel members. So it's something we've done for the 6 months we've had channel membership. It's homage to my New York Yankees. If you've ever been to the Bronx, Yankee Stadium, we deliver what is called a roll call to the players. We shout out each position's name, whatever player is playing such position on that given day, they get a shout out. And as long as the ball is not in play, the player will actually tip their cap to us, or whoever's in the bleacher creatures at the time, but other people in other sections, we do it as well. We join in. But it's a roll call that we do in New York, Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. I decided to bring that to the channel, and we've been doing that a couple of times every single month since I've had channel membership. So I have an updated list of my current channel members, and I want to give a massive shout out to every single one of you that have taken the time to show that next level of appreciation to this channel through BC, a coffee every month when you don't need to. It's never needed. Appreciated, never needed. So the fact that you do it on your own accord, it's humbling, and it's the least I can do. But I gotta be honest, it's not just to say thank you back to you guys, this shout out, the roll call that we're gonna do at the end of this podcast. It's also to help BC. It helps me see who is the channel members currently, man. Who's been with BC from day one on this membership journey? Who just joined a few months ago but is still on board? Who's brand new? I love seeing that. It helps BC just know who my frontline unit is, my gold team, if you will. So it helps me just as much, but it's massively my way to give a thank you back to you guys. So we're going to do that in this podcast as well. That's my point. Let's get into the talk, man. Let's not waste any more time. I'm taking a big part of your Thursday as it is. 90-minute podcast went on the air just a few hours ago. It's uploaded to the channel. Listen to that whenever you guys want throughout the next 24 hours. And now I'm going to hit you with another. I mean, this whole thing is probably going to be bare minimum a half an hour. So let's do this. Hardest working man in the IWC, BC Amplified. Not even a debate anymore, man. And it's not even a job for BC, man. This is my hobby. I love this shit. It becomes a job as you get more successful. There's no way around it, given the work that you have to put into it. but this is what I do, man. I don't know how many times I can say that. Just thinking of that I get to do this and get the following that I have and have the most badass, smartest subscribers in this planet for this community. And to have the channel members that I have that are just next level. I can't thank you guys enough. I appreciate you, man. Big time. Let's not get sentimental. Let's move on. Stop. Cut the shit. Cut the shit, Tony. All right. Ratings, guys. Let's start with, what do you want to go? NXT, AEW. Because this is funny. This is interesting. Now, both were promoting a big superstar, right? AEW is promoting the return of CM Punk. Now, that's going to take precedent, right? That's going to catapult. Many people thought they were going to pull 1 million from 800 and... what did they pull last week? 832. Not even Punk is bringing you in 168,000 more viewers. It's not happening, guys. So pump the brakes on 1 million. Yes, they should be getting 1 million every single week, bare minimum, but they're nowhere near that. They have a lot of issues. When BC tries to address it, I get called the negative asshole in the community. That's fine. I don't mind that, to be honest. But I'm raising the red flag. Nobody wants to listen, and now people think that you're just going to magically go from 832 to 1 million because CM Punk is here. I'm trying to tell you, he's not the draw that he used to be. All right, enough of that. Let's move on to the ratings, shall we? Now, this is interesting. AEW NXT. Both were promoting a big superstar to return to their old stomping grounds. AEW, they're promoting the return of Phillip Brooks, CM Punk, to AEW Dynamite. Over on NXT, they were promoting Sethington Rollins returning to NXT for a championship title match with Braun Breaker. So both shows promoting a big superstar, right? The return of CM Punk to Dynamite, return of Sethington to NXT. Now, that wasn't it, though. Both shows also were benefiting from a themed show. For NXT, it was Gold Rush. For AEW, it was the Go Home Show. So not really themed, but a special attribute that no doubt they tried to click into many times during Wednesday night's broadcast. So the Go Home Show always gives you a little, or used to anyway. These days, not as much as it used to. But it's supposed to give you a big spark, right? Your pay-per-view is coming up that weekend. That's the Go Home Show. You have all your best storylines to the forefront, and you captivate your audience, and you really make them. You give them reasons to have to fork over their money to watch that pay-per-view. It's called the Go Home Show. And for NXT, again, that was totally themed as Gold Rush Night 1, Night 2 next week. So both had some theming. Go Home Show, Gold Rush. And I'm not sure if Dynamite had the college championships. I know NXT had to go against the college championships. I think it was the college baseball championships, correct? And NXT defeated one of the hours or one of the games, I forget which it is, and another one beat NXT. But that's what I mean. For anybody that said, oh, well, they were going against the college championships on Saturday night, so Collision got really banged up. That's why they got beat out. Well, NXT came and whooped some ass. They whooped some college ass on Tuesday. One of them beat NXT. NXT beat another game. So, or hour of it, whichever it was. But NXT did not just curl up in a ball, at least. They fought back. And they defeated some of that college championship. Good for them. I don't know if Dynamite had the same competition. Other than the college championships, though, guys, there was no playoff competition. No basketball, no hockey, obviously no football. Not that it would be on Tuesday or Wednesday anyway. So no sporting competition like that. This was just college athletes. If you can't beat a bunch of kids playing a sport, then don't call yourself a professional. I don't know what to tell you. BC, what about college football, man? You know how popular that is in the States. I don't care, guys. It's kids playing a sport. I understand how wildly popular it is. But if you as a professional cannot beat these kids, then that's on you. I'm not blaming or giving you an excuse. I'm actually am blaming you. WWE, you, AEW, you, NXT, whoever. It's your job to beat these kids. They're kids playing a sport. They're kids playing a game. Stop. So no, I'm not shocked that NXT actually beat them out in at least one of the hours. Not at all. That's what they should be doing. Collision should have done that on Saturday night. So my point is, okay, both have a theming of type Go Home Show, Gold Rush, and the other one is that the competition for sports was very limited to none. So that's very good news. On top of that, you each have this big superstar that's going to be returning to the old stomping grounds. Now, AEW, let's start there. Phillip Brooks. First time back in Dynamite in a long time. Okay. Now, people are already catapulting this rating to 1 million, right? To them, it's a magic number. When BC talks about 1 million, it's because that's where we move the goalpost. We didn't use 1 million because it sounds like a good number, right? It's a nice whole number. It is, but we started at 1-2 and had to move the goalpost because AEW couldn't hit 1-2, nowhere near it. They once in a while would hit 1 million, so we moved the goalpost to 1 million. What happened is they couldn't even hit that over time, so we had to move the goalpost again to 950. That seemed to be the top tier of their niche, and now their new top tier is 850. Once in a while, they'll hiccup into the 900,000s, but not enough to go back to 950 as their new normal, unfortunately. So people had the last week AEW number at 832, going to 1 million plus this week. You think you're going to go approximately 170,000 viewers up because of Phillip Brooks. You're not understanding. When we discuss Phillip Brooks not being the draw that he once was, it's because that's what the numbers have shown us. Read the temperature of the room. The audience, the fans are telling you that he's not the draw he once was. How many fans have to tell you they're just done with Punk completely? Because that's all we've been hearing the last 7 to 9 months. But there's fans that don't want to hear it. Earmuffs. Or put in the earbuds and just jack up some Def Leppard. But I'm not going to hear any blasphemy about Punk not being a draw. And the new thing is, well, some of the arenas are starting to sell more tickets ever since the first Collision. Canada is selling a little better. Newark sold a little more tickets, so more Collision dates, which we're not pushing at all with the announcement of Punk, by the way. Nothing at all was moving. Do you guys know why tickets are pushing faster now? Did you read the articles? Did you do your research? They have moved the ticket pricing in many markets to about $10. They cut the price in half, to some cases a quarter of what they were. $10 is what we're hearing, and hundreds of tickets are being released to radio stations to be given out for free. Hundreds more than what was already allocated to. You don't think that's funny how only 816,000 tuned in for the first Collision and all of a sudden all these markets are pushing more tickets? Yes, guys, it's because they slashed the prices. They were not moving. They're giving them away for free even. That's not even slamming Punk. I don't even care about Punk. I'm talking about Tony Khan's AEW pushing Saturday night tickets for a show called Collision. It's desperate times right now for them. Did you guys know that the United Center or over in Chicago for Saturday's Collision, the re-debut of Punk, do you guys realize that did not sell out? Not even close on the third-party tickets. But Ticketmaster was showing that it was not a legit sellout, and there were still hundreds of tickets. Do you guys even realize that? But now we're going to go with a narrative that, okay, the ratings aren't there, but some tickets are starting to move better now. Yeah, well, there's a reason for it. My point in all this, guys, is that everybody thought this was going to catapult over 1 million. You're not understanding what I've been trying to tell you. This isn't just a hit piece on CM Punk. I just don't like him. I'm going to bash him, and I'm going to show you guys that he contributes nothing. No, of course he contributes shit. I'm not saying the guy's a nothing burger at all. I'm trying to tell you guys this, without a captivating storyline attached to Phillip Brooks, this is going to fall flat on its face like it did his first time around. Starting with Rampage, 1.129 rating, all the way down to where it was last week, 200-something thousand. You're going the same route, man. You just might get there even faster this time, unfortunately. I'm trying to tell you guys, he's not a draw that he once was, or that you thought he was. I'm not even trying to... I like being the asshole at times, absolutely. I don't mind being the bad guy. I was born a natural born heel, but this is just truth. You guys thought he was a savior for AEW. He's not. I told you from day one, he's not going to pull when he returns to Dynamite. If you think that alone is going to pump them to $1 million, it's not going to happen. So BC, okay, you set it up. Now give us the number. AEW Dynamite this week with CM Punk's announced return and CM Punk segment. AEW pulled in 902,000 viewers. They just peaked over 900. Nowhere near where their new normal was for a while, 950, but at least they peaked back into the 900s, because last week they were at 832. For the last several months, they've been fucking around the 800s. So no big competition from multiple leagues. You know, you didn't have NBA, NHL playoffs simultaneously, nothing like that. It's a go-home show to your pay-per-view, and you have CM Punk. And they were only able to pull in 70,000 viewers more. Only 70,000. But listen, beggars can't be... At least they got 70, right? BC, you've been so negative on the ratings, man. Can't we just be positive for a minute? Deal. How about that? Deal. They pulled in 70,000. We'll take it. Almost a full 100,000 away from $1 million. Nowhere near $1 million, but I never thought they would. It's expectations from fans that don't understand numbers and don't know what they're talking about. And maybe those are the fans that should just listen to other fans when they say, don't care about ratings, just enjoy wrestling. Maybe these are fans that should just listen to that advice, because you should not be talking about ratings if you thought that this show was going to reach $1 million. The show wasn't good enough to reach $1 million. Not enough people are... This is going to hurt, guys. This is truth, though. There's no other way for me to say this, man. If people are going to cry, they're going to cry. The show was not good enough to hit $1 million. Ratings showed you that. It wasn't even near $1 million. There's not enough people that are interested in Forbidden Door. Sadly, if you are, awesome. That's not what I'm talking about. There's not enough people interested in Forbidden Door. The numbers tell us that this week. And CM Punk is no longer the draw he once was. The numbers tell us that, man. So all of that together, go home show, no real competition, and CM Punk. And they only squeaked by 900,000. The viewers only got 70,000. Meanwhile, over in NXT, get this, guys. You ready for this? Sethington Rollins was the big draw, other than Dana Brooke. I refuse to believe. No offense. We talk all about Dana. We give her love and respect in the podcast earlier. Put that podcast up a few hours ago. But, so no disrespect. But I doubt very much Dana Brooke brought in almost 200,000 viewers. Or Ali in a referee shirt. Or Baron Corbin cutting a promo on a microphone. I doubt any of that really did. But Sethington Rollins being advertised for this show. Last week, NXT pulled 581,000 viewers. 581,000. This week, NXT pulled 773,000 viewers. Right now, you probably fell out of your chair if you were sitting down. If you had the earbuds in and you were going for a jog while listening to BC, you probably ran straight into a fucking wall. If you're grocery shopping listening to BC with the earbuds, you probably put in fucking 10 boxes of diapers or 26 boxes of cereal. You didn't even know it, right? You're going to get home, the wifey's going to be like, what the fuck did you bring home 10 boxes of diapers for? We don't even have kids! You're like, babe, maybe we can fix that tonight. Slap, you're on the couch. Anyway, the point is, man, you probably don't even believe that, right? You're thinking, BC, you just said last week was 581,000. This week is 773. BC, are you telling me that NXT pulled 192,000 more viewers than last week? Almost 200,000 more viewers. BC, are you telling me that they pulled more than a third of their total viewership more? 581. So a third of that, let's say 600,000, right? Almost 200,000 viewers were added on to that 581. That's a third of the viewership that they totally got last week. Of course, I'm not putting it all on Sethington, just like I wouldn't say that Phillip Brooks himself brought 70,000 viewers back to Dynamite. Of course not. Nor did Sethington himself bring 192,000 viewers to NXT. But those were the big draws, right? One is going to have to outdraw the other. Again, total viewership, Dynamite has always had a 250-ish increase over NXT. It's going to take NXT a long time to try to battle that back. However, before I keep going with what I was talking about, 773,000 this week for NXT. Guys, they're knocking on Collision's door already. The problem is Collision's going to start going backwards. That was a debut. That's their ceiling. There's only one way to go now. They're going to dip into the 700s. What if NXT beats them? Like within a month's time, what if WWE's developmental, supposedly, even with all the main roster talent, NXT, that's been a laughing joke to a lot of the wrestling world, unfairly, by the way. What if they're beating Collision within a month's time? I haven't even fathomed that that's possible. But after seeing 773,000 this week, what is that away from Collision? That's only 37, like 43,000? No, what'd they pull? 816, right? So that's 27, 37. It's like 43,000, something like. My Steiner math might be off by a few thousand, but that's like 43. Guys, the premier of the second biggest wrestling company in North America, statewide anyway, stateside, I should say, AEW. And NXT is 40-some-odd thousand away from beating them. I mean, if Collision goes to like 730 next week and NXT pulls 725 to 750, and one of them has CM Punk on them, I can't even, I won't let the mind go there right yet. I can't even fathom that. But man, 773,000. Back to my original point. 773,000 fans. I can't, NXT pulled 192,000 more fans. AEW only pulled 70,000 with CM Punk's Dynamite return. 70,000 to 192. Again, I'm not just solely saying Punk carried the 70, and I'm not saying Sethington solely carried the 192. But 70 to 192, that's almost 3 times the 70. 2 times is 140, 3 is 210. 18,000 viewers away from tripling what AEW did with CM Punk in terms of viewers returning to the show, or for the first time tuning into the show. So, of course, Dynamite beat them overall. But in terms of how far you went up in the ratings from the week previous, one show pulled up 70,000, the other 192. And that aspect, Sethington Rollins. And guys, I'm not even a Sethington fan. I'm the first to say I don't understand Seth Rollins' character. I haven't. Half Joker, half I don't know what he is. He's a face, he's a heel, he's got a sing-along, and all of a sudden he's super over. Once he got the song, he became super over. Before the song, nobody cared about Rollins with a U.S. championship. Nobody cared about what Rollins was doing. His booking was atrocious. It was honestly, guys, this is no disrespect. It was channel-changing inducing when Rollins came out. And I know he's a good wrestler, and we respect him, and he deserves accolades. But that's how much I literally cared about nothing Rollins was doing. Until this very day, guys, BC does not really care about what Rollins is doing. Not even with Balor. I've already seen Balor and Rollins have 17 rematches. I don't need another one. If you guys are happy with it, cool. That's all that matters. BC, my point is, I'm not even on the Rollins bandwagon. But you got to give dude his props. He came to NXT, and he helped at the bare minimum bring 192,000 more viewers there. Seth Rollins, outdrew Phillip Brooks in that category, bringing fans back / new fans from the week previous. Sethington outdrew Punk. Wow. A couple weeks ago, if you guys are wondering, AEW Dynamite's rating just got into the 900,000s. So let me do the what was that, guys? Because I'm going to give you an accurate what was the rating before Punk showed up, right? Not last week. I already gave you that. That was 832. But like 2 weeks ago, because I know that they were in the 900s. So let me just go to what that date was, the 7th, right? 6/7/23. That rating was 903,000 viewers. So that's the same rating. Is that really? Yeah, June 7th, man, 903,000. So they actually had a higher viewership with a 0.34, by the way, and they only got a 0.33 here. So they had higher viewership 2 weeks ago when they were last in the 900s. By 1,000 viewers, guys, they had 903,000. The week before, they had 923. Then they went to 832 last week, showing you that was not good. That's not good hype-wise going into Collision. You have a 923, then a 903, and then you get to 832 a few days before Collision. That should have told you right there people were not excited about Punk. So 923, then 903, then 832, and then with Punk's return to Dynamite, a 902,000. So he didn't even beat what they've been pulling in aside from last week. Wow, man. I mean, I knew BC's words are accurate. I wouldn't spit them if they weren't. But sometimes my words end up being just like so truthful that I have to take a step back. I do the research. I have the facts in front of me, and I'm so quick to dish them out to you guys that I don't know if I ever really digest them. You know, just seeing these numbers and looking at what Phil Brooks did or didn't do. I mean, they had higher viewership several weeks ago. 923 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 903. And then there was just no interest at all going in Collision. It dropped to 832. And then last night, or Wednesday night, 902. I'm just... If I see it's like I'm just spending a minute on this, it's because I'm really comprehending it. I'm letting it digest, and it's crazy to see how the magic is gone with Phillip Brooks. If you're a fan, that's not shade or anything. Be a fan, absolutely. Honestly, no disrespect. I mean, if you're going to cry about what we're talking about, then total disrespect. Fuck off. But if you're a fan and you're like, I hear you, but I'm still going to support, and it is what it is. Let's hope for the best. Absolutely hear you. Much love and respect. If you're a fan and you're just like, well, fuck off, I don't care what the rating is, I'm going to enjoy wrestling. If you're one of those people, right, then I don't know why you were listening. I told you from the jump, this was about numbers, guys. This is what we talk. This is a channel where we absolutely break the fourth wall, and we talk about the business side of it as well. We just do. We're not just going to fluff things up and talk about your favorite wrestler and how awesome your favorite show was. We're going to give it imaginary gold stars. We're going to give it some ups like Simon. It'll be fun, right? I'll sit there with my AEW hoodie on, and I'll talk about how much I love the show. We're not going to do that, guys. Come on, man. Come on, man. Do I look like an average I'm not average. Nothing I've ever done is average. I don't like mid. Oh, I want to talk about all of it, man. I want to see what's working, what's not. How can we help these companies? That's what this is all about. I don't care if fans just cry about what I'm saying. I want the people in the companies to know that there are answers. There could be better business being conducted, and the good news is it's simplistic changes that need to be made. I just wish they would listen more. Otherwise, we'll keep getting numbers like this. And NXT bucked the system. NXT did what a lot of people have been telling them to do. They said, we don't like the college format, or because that's what Paul Levesque said, right? Think of NXT as college football to the NFL. And a lot of fans said, no, we want to see main roster stars, right? And then there's the loyal NXT fan base of this era's NXT. And they like how it's been conducted. They like seeing these stars be developed. They feel it's even better than the main roster, and they want nothing to do with main roster stars on it. But Paul Levesque and Nicholas Khan, the CEO of WWE, and the head chief content creating officer, Paul Levesque and Khan got together, and they said, well, you know what? Ahead of our new rights fees increase, which we hope is going to be massive with USA Network, NBC, Comcast, Universal, we want to start popping the rating a bit, and we want to really bulk up NXT. That's them saying that they don't trust their developmental anyway. I don't know if that's saying they don't trust Michael Hickenbottom, Shawn Michaels too, or, I don't know, doesn't look good, that they had to infiltrate so many main roster talents, from Ali to Baron Corbin to Sethington to Dana Brooke and many others. But they decided that that's the route they're going to do to pop the rating. Many of us didn't know what it was going to do. I truly felt if they hit 650, I won't be shocked. If they hit 675, I'm going to be shocked. I literally wasn't giving this much of a chance, but they saw something. They saw an opportunity on that Tuesday night for people that are craving people they know in pro wrestling, WWE more specifically, and they put them onto the product, especially Sethington, and it worked. It worked. I can't even say that I saw this, guys. Usually I can say I see trajectories. That's what following the numbers gives me, right? I love the numbers because we can always see the trends and the trajectories. So we're not shocked when something happens. But every once in a while, we do get shocked. Something happens that bucks the system, and it flips everything upside down. What WWE did was a massive gamble, and it paid off massively. A lot of the tried and true NXT fans are not happy about it, I'm sure. But, I mean, 773,000 viewers, guys, when Collision only pulled 816. The second biggest wrestling promotion here, statewide. Stateside. Oh, I keep saying that. North America. Let's just keep it simple. Second biggest wrestling promotion. They come up with this big debut premiere with the re-debut of one of the biggest stars, supposedly, of the guy who's going to save the company. And they only pull 816. And here's NXT, and they just promote a title called Gold Rush. And here comes Sethington, Dana Brooke, Baron Corbin, and Ali, a band of misfits. And they pull 773 and pull within 40-some-odd thousand fans. 40-some-odd thousand in viewership away from Collision already. I just can't fathom this, guys. If it seems like I'm harping on this, I mean, I'm really going over these numbers really vividly for the first time with you. And I think I'm just really, I'm in awe. That's why I love numbers, man. It's insane to see, like, how many fans are interested in something and who are not, right? You may feel so passionate about something, you love something so much, you think it's the greatest thing since the Amplify channel. But when it's all said and done and you look at the numbers, it's like, oh, I'm in a minority. Most people were not interested. It's interesting, you know? And for people that say, don't worry about ratings, just enjoy pro wrestling. Okay. Why are you here? I don't understand what I can do for you. I'm not going to stop talking about them. It's always weird when, like, people will find a channel like this. They know what it's about because it's either in the thumbnail or the title. And from minute 1 all the way to minute fucking 100, we're talking about numbers. And they'll be like, why do we care about numbers? Just enjoy the wrestling. Why did you listen to the podcast? Why did you feel the need to take the time where you could have been enjoying wrestling on Peacock or watching AEW on the YouTube machine? Why are you taking the time to tell others not to talk about ratings? What are you doing? It's so odd, man. The people that claim they don't care about ratings are just the weirdest, dumbest, nerdiest, geekiest fools you'll ever come across. Just total geeks. They don't even comprehend how stupid they sound. They claim they don't like something so much, but they go out of their way to make sure they comment about it every fucking chance they get. Well, I don't care about ratings. Good for you. Do you want a chocolate chip cookie? Do you want Melty to give you an imaginary gold star? Do you want Bret Hitman Hart's glasses? I don't know what you want. You ain't gonna get anything on this fucking channel, except for a dose of truth in terms of statistics, metrics, and numbers. Not too much more I can give you on that, man. Maybe an IBS internet bitch slap. I don't know what you want. You ain't getting it. You want us to stop talking about the ratings. Just stop it. But yet when the ratings are where they like it, right? If AEW cracks 1 million, Tony Khan is the first person on his social doohickey machine to throw a parade. AEW fans are fucking having a fucking parade. Well, they're in the parade with Tony Khan. First ones, right? It's hilarious. WWE Raw pulled over 1.8. I don't know if I have the exact. I didn't even write that. I guess the more important thing here is last week's number, which I believe was just over 1.6, correct? What was that? The 12th. Raw rating 612. 612.23 BC. There you go. Raw pulled in 1.595. Almost basically, well, no, I'm not going to give them the extra 5,000. Fuck them. If you're going to produce trash, you're getting the 1.595. But many people just called that an even 1.6. Whatever. I'm not going to give them the extra 5. That was down from 1.828 the week previous. So that was just a bad show. And I don't care what holiday you want to throw in there, what playoff game. Maybe there was a presidential speech. Maybe it was your grandmother's birthday party. Maybe you had to teach your kids how to ride their tricycles. I don't know what happened. You were baking a cake with Nana. But when you're at a 1.828, which is not good anyway 2 weeks ago, and then last week you drop all the way to 1.595, yeah, not fucking good. So 1.828 2 weeks ago. And this week, I'll get there, guys. 1.828 2 weeks ago. And I'll get it. Maybe. Possibly. Hold on. Okay, here it is. So this week, 1.82. I just wanted to get the actual number, guys. I didn't want to just say, just over 1.8. Because what does that mean? Is it 1.85? 1.8? What is it? Barely over 1.8? A little more than barely. 1.821. Again, 1.828 2 weeks ago. So they didn't even reach where they were 2 weeks ago. They missed out by a few thousand. So it's a step up big time from last week's 1.595, or if you want to call it 1.6. They pulled 226,000 more viewers this week. Again, last week was a catastrophic failure. I said on this week's review, live with you guys, at least, bare minimum, they tried. I don't know if that's even worse, though. They tried, and it still was a shit show. That's scary to know that I honestly believe they tried to put on a good show and didn't come close. But maybe there was enough craziness, there was enough of a circus to where at least bare minimum people were tuning in during commercials and shit, because they did get back to almost where they were 2 weeks ago, over 1.8. You don't need me to beat a dead horse at this point. You guys already know how I feel about that. 1.8 right now with no NFL football competition, no NBA playoffs, no NHL, nothing like that. And you're still hovering around 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. It is so bad. I remember when they first started getting 1.8, 1.9, 2.0 consistently. And all the fans that didn't want to hear it, they were saying, BC, it's football, man. BC, relax. After Monday Night Football, it'll go back to 2.5 and plus. You just got to relax, BC, man. It's just football, man. Nobody's going to stop watching football for pro wrestling. First of all, bullshit. Attitude Era. They used to beat the shit out of football. Bullshit. You don't know what you're talking about. It's not a good enough product anymore. Football is way better than wrestling. But it wasn't always that way. But so many people said when it was 181920, and it just started to creep there. They said, don't worry, it's football. And what did I tell you guys? Every week it went lower and lower, which means more and more people are not tuning in. No more FOMO, no more fear of missing out. And I told you guys, when football's done and they're sitting at a 1-6, 1-7, 1-8, good luck digging out of that hole to go back to even where you were, 2-2, 2-3. Fuck 2-5. Good luck getting back to a 2-2. A lot of people didn't want to hear it, right? BC, respect you, much love. I know you're usually always right. Does that make sense? Usually always. BC, you're usually right. But on this one, I think you just need some patience. I said, all right, you think that. I know, I already see the trajectory on this. But we'll wait until after football, and we'll see if they're at your 2-5. Remember what I said. They're not even going to be near 2-2. Here we are, weeks after football, months after football. And you've heard every excuse since, right? Holidays, you've heard NBA playoffs, you've heard NHL play, you've heard everything. Your grandmother and you were baking a cake on her birthday, so that affected the numbers. You heard it all. You were twiddling your thumbs. You were playing in traffic. Every excuse. Here we are, end of June. And they're just barely, 2 out of 3 weeks now, just barely getting over 1.8. Last week, couldn't even get to 1.6. 4 weeks before that, hovering in 1.7s. Fuck 2-2. BC was actually wrong. Fuck 2-2 even. You guys said 2-2. A lot of you guys said 2-5. I said fuck that. Good luck getting back to 2-2. We were all wrong. Good luck getting back to 2-0. Name's BC Amplified. This has been the second Amped Up podcast for Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. You guys have been a blast. You guys have been so much fun, man. I thank you so much. And if you don't mind, I'm going to give you a bigger shout out. A lot of you guys anyway. Not everybody. But I'm going to give you guys a big shout out. My super thankers first. And then I want to do a roll call of my channel members. I know that's ballsy. That's going to take a minute. It's well over 100 names. But these are the top tier unit members. And it's indeed time that we give that proper respect. First and foremost, to my super thankers in the podcast we just put up a few hours ago. There was a few of you guys, and I want to make sure that I get you on the big screen here. Hold on, please. All right, got it. All right, let's see. A shout out to WWE AEW Marvel fan, the channel member of the week, gold card member of the week, by the way. 5-spot coffee via the super thanks button down below. If LA Knight wins Money in the Bank, wait, I got to do that the right way. If LA Knight, wins Money in the Bank next Saturday, who would you have him cash in on? Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins? First of all, a little bit of bad news. I like Logan Paul. I think he's been phenomenal. But we're hearing that he is the lead candidate to win that briefcase. I'm not saying I'm down with it. I'm just being I'm afraid I got some bad news. Old school Wade Barrett, bad news Barrett. I'm just delivering, I'm the messenger on that, man. I'm delivering the bad news to a lot of you guys. It looks like Logan Paul, absolutely. To me, it has to be LA Knight. And it'll be a crime if not. But WWE AEW Marvel fan, channel member, gold card member of the week, says if LA Knight, wins Money in the Bank next Saturday, who would you have him cash in on? Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins? The way WWE is, nothing makes sense, and they just want to confuse you, and they want to do the stupidest things. You'll probably see LA Knight wind up in NXT to pop a rating and beat Carmelo Hayes. But it also, I say that kind of as a joke. Watch it happen. But I would say Sethington Rollins. I just don't think Sethington will have it at that time. I think Drew McIntyre, if this is done properly, Drew McIntyre comes back as a heel. What better place than London? Take out Sethington or do something in that facet. If not somewhere in the near future, Drew McIntyre, I say, takes the title from Sethington. Once whatever face ends up taking it from him, way into the future, let LA Knight hold that shit. Breathe on it. way into the future, maybe even Mania-esque, LA Knight cashes in, right? Let Drew have a nice little run, nothing too lengthy, but a nice run. Let a face get it, and then let's have some fun with LA Knight. So I would draw this out over the whole next year. And it's not hot, but it's a couple of champs. Drew gets it from Rollins. A face will get it eventually, and then LA Knight shocks the world. We're not really playing a merry-go-round with it. It'll be and if you make it fun and you do it properly, nobody would have a problem with that. I say Sethington. There's no way a heel is beating Roman anyway, nor should they. But all of this Roman title reign cannot just be for LA Knight, as much as we love. BC especially loves LA Knight. Yeah. No, I don't see that. It's got to be Sethington, and there's no way you bring him to NXT. But again, I don't think it's going to be Sethington, because you got to let him hold that briefcase. And I don't know if any of us need to see Sethington hold that title for a good year. Stop. It's not going to do anything for Sethington or the championship. Appreciate that super thanks. WWE AEW Marvel fan. Congrats again on your channel membership of the week championship. Dante Jaron 23, 5-spot coffee via the super thanks down below. Dante Jaron 23 says, whenever AEW exceeds 1 million, the tribalists claim, and I quote, AEW is going to put WWE out of business because they hit 1 million in viewership. Then when it's under 1 million, it's, and I quote, they've only been around for 4 years excuse. Yeah, Dante Jaron 23, I brought that up not too long ago, actually. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes ago-ish. I was just talking about that. I don't know what got us on that subject, but, well, I mean, we've been talking about numbers anyway. So I guess it's the whole subject. But, yeah, we were just talking about how that's what we were talking about. Fans that claim ratings don't matter, but when the ratings are really good for the show they like, they love talking about them, right? Or they try to throw a dig. Oh, where's everyone talking about ratings now? Oh, now you want to talk about them. If you really didn't care, you just let it go. Be happy nobody's going to talk about them because it doesn't fit a narrative. No, they're the first ones to talk about it. Dante Jaron 23, no doubt, brother. You know. If you know, you know. Dante Jaron 23 knows. Appreciate the super thanks. And a mega amplify thanks right back to you, Dante Jaron 23. JR9 Gaming with another 2-spot coffee super thanks. And this is a, what do we call this, JR9? This is going to piggyback off of the JR9 Gaming Amplified NXT review from just a few hours ago. If you missed the podcast, check it out. In the comments, check out JR9 Gaming's NXT review. He brilliantly puts it all together. BC read it at the end of the podcast, so I read the entire review from JR9 Gaming. And this, I guess you could say it's a little piggyback off of that, having to do with the number. JR9 Gaming, it looks like, found out about the 773,000 viewership. So let's talk about it via the super thanks. JR9 Gaming says, and I quote, NXT getting 773,000 viewers is a great 192,000 viewer increase from the 581,000 last week. That is 33% of an increase. The highest NXT viewership since April 20th, 2021. However, it just feels a bit of a cheap way to get the rating with the main roster's involvement. The only way I'll look at this number as a success is if they maintain a new normal of at least 700K to 750K coming out of this show weekly without main roster talent, as if they just return to their usual 575 to 615K within a few weeks, then this number will mean nothing. I have the same thought process on that, JR9 Gaming. Overall, JR9 says, I'm glad more eyes got on to see NXT, as it has been deserving of more viewers for a while now. But I wish it happened naturally with only NXT talent involved, instead of being relegated to background players. That being said, NXT must capitalize on this number over the next few weeks/months with must-see storylines that get fans hooked. Could not agree more, JR9. As if they do, it's the perfect chance for NXT, to not only get 700K plus regularly, there you go, but also to get close to Dynamite's average rating frequently. No doubt. 902 this week for Dynamite. Maybe some people said, all right, let's see what they're going to do with. Maybe it's going to be better than they did with Punk on Collision. 902. Does that dip back to toward 875, 850? And if they pull over 700, I mean, that gap is closing. It's fully achievable with how bad Dynamite has been recently. NXT isn't that far away now. Plus, isn't it also hilarious seeing NXT this week be just 43,000 viewers away from Collision's premiere featuring Punk's return? It highlights just how bad that number was for AEW. As even with main roster talent involved with NXT, it shouldn't be that close. I really hope HBK and NXT writers make the most of this massive opportunity to get big ratings regularly. That word is tripping BC up. As they may get another chance. End of super thanks. Piggybacking off of that review of NXT earlier. Exclamation point, Jer9 Gaming, man, beautifully put. I believe I agree with literally every word. I mean, I'm rereading it. There's nothing, I mean, you got the grasp on NXT as it is. I'm trying to offer any more words that can benefit from this conversation, but you pretty much nailed it, dude. It's Jer9. The truth is, it's going to be hard. We've seen them get a nice bump, and then it just like falls drastically back. And some weeks there's not even justification. Like the following week was actually good. It maintained, we felt, but it goes back. I shouldn't say we. I can't watch every Tuesday night, unfortunately. But a lot of you guys tell me that, damn, it was good again. I don't understand how they lost 60,000 viewers again. You know, that's why ratings are funny, and you really want to understand them. Because what we think is good or working, it's not to the majority, to the masses. So you can be one of those fans that says, I don't care as long as I enjoy it. That's cool. But that's not what we discuss. We look at what is working, literally, not just for Jimmy, Jerry, and Timmy, but for the masses. That way we can truly help the promotions, man. Jer9 Gaming. I'd say I appreciate you big time, man, but I'm sure you already know that vividly. I don't know if there was more super thankses in the podcast from yesterday when we went over the Collision rating in depth. I know Stegmeister came in a little bit later, and we ended up getting that. I give a big shout out to Stegmeister in the last podcast just a few hours ago. And then John Gray, I also gave that shout out. He came in a little late on yesterday's stream with a super thanks. I gave John Gray, I gave you that shout out earlier with that super thanks, bro. SF Jammer, though. I'm guessing that's the San Fran Jammer. 2-spot super thanks. Thanks, BC was born. Oh, thanks. BC was born a face, but the doctor smacked BC so hard BC turned heel automatically. Damn right, my mom probably told him to smack me, man. Probably knew I was coming out an asshole. SF Jammer talking about the podcast earlier where BC just said, like I said in this podcast, I was born a natural born heel. I just am. I'm much more comfortable as a bad guy. Some people are just like that, you know. We don't mind pissing people off. We enjoy making people cry. If it's from truth, guys, you know, I'm not gonna walk down Fifth Avenue and just start pushing people into the walls till they cry. But if I'm dropping truth and you're crying, chances are you deserve to be crying, and chances are I'm going to enjoy it. Thank you, brother. Thank you to everybody, man. If I missed any super thankses, I will absolutely get the updated list. But there was a lot of coffees that you guys have been chucking to the channel via that super thanks. And I always want to make sure that at the end of every podcast, I am giving you guys the proper shout out, reading every word, and making sure we have a good discussion on it. I'm starting to really like those super thanks. Not just because I got a coffee in the process. That's not needed. But it's a fun aspect to these podcasts. Very cool. Now what I want to do, I said this one, maybe this will go a half an hour because I just put up a 90-minute podcast a few hours ago. Here we are, guys. We're already going toward a freaking over an hour, and we're easily going to do that because now I'm going to do a roll call of my entire amplified unit. Oh, hold on. You know what I got to do too? Make sure there's no new super thankses. Hold on. I don't think so. All right, let me go to the roll calls here, man. If you're new to the channel, this is all my channel members. There's over 100, so stick with me here, but a couple of times a month, bare minimum. What we do for channel members, first of all, a couple times a month, we do channel member chats only during live streams. We open the chat up just for channel members. It helps BC have a more zoned in, vivid conversation with my members. It's just easier for BC and it's more helpful. So we have channel member chats only, and we also do roll calls like this. So just some of the perks. And now we just added in channel member gold card champion of the week, which is WWE AEW Marvel fan this week. So let me go to my channel members. Here we go, man. You guys ready? Roll call. All my gold card unit, man. All my channel members, starting with my first ever channel member, JR9 Gaming. The very first member when I opened up channel memberships 6 months ago. JR9 Gaming. Jack Brewer. Godswilla. I mean, just these first names, I know for a fact you guys have been with BC for 6 months. In fact, you know what? I'm going to make this a little bit longer. I'm actually going to name the month that each individual has been with BC, because I just realized the tube has given me that info. JR9 Gaming, 6 month membership. 6 month from day one, man. JR9 Gaming. Godswilla, 6 months. Jack Brewer, 6 months. Carlos Ray, 6 months. Jacqueline Robinson, 6 months. Sir Charles, 6 months. Sadiqua Flowers, 6 months. Anthony Bowley, 6 months. Ray Foreman, 6 months. Kim T, 6 months. Dante Jaron 23, 6 months. A. Merrick, 6 months. Eric Leno, 6 months. D. Carre, 6 months. PB Silly Pride, 6 months. Sam Byers, 6 months. Ash Stegmeister Steggles, 6 months. DJ is a Prodigy, 6 months. Alicia Vukovic, 6 months. Batty Banks, 6 months. Trina Scott, 6 months. Pimp Jesus, 6 months. Janelle Layton, just coming in right after. Janelle Layton starts my 5-month members, man. Janelle Layton, 5 months. Much love and respect, Janelle. Raymond Karan, 5 months. Nessie Sunflower, 5 months. Yamos, 5 months. Santivia Major, 5 months. Jared Kelly, 5 months. James Shrimp Fajitas, 5 months. G, a.k.a. True Life the God, 5 months. Christopher Blackshear, last week's gold member champion of the week. Christopher Blackshear, 5 months. Network guy Dave, 5 months. Dwayne Piazza, 5 months. Quentin Gilbert, 5 months. Pile Driver Finisher, 5 months. Savage 1024 The Punisher, 5 months. Brand Q featuring Quincy, 5 months. Rachel Rocca, 5 months. Mr. Big 200, 5 months. Jamal Straken, 5 months. Venus Soldier 92, 5 months. Robert Hurt, 5 months. Snake Venom, 5 months. Silver Black 31, 5 months. Jimmy Fingers 19, 5 months. Sterling Range, 6 months. Wait, we got some 6-monthers, man. Maybe they had to rejoin and went off for like a week. Oh, we got some, see what I mean? I'm glad I'm doing this individually here. Hold on. Sterling Range, 6 months. Ozzy Edwards, 5 months. Taryn Dawn, 5 months. Jane Donnelly, 6 months. Ray Hunt, 4 months. The Up Channel, 4 months. Colin, 4 months. Blitz 2K5, 4 months. Dave Mille, 5 months. Angel Alega, 4 months. Big Nang, 5 months. Jason Martinez, 4 months. Richard Rodriguez, 4 months. DeMonte Ty Drew, 6 months. Richard Wade, 5 months. John Gray, 5 months. Cosmic Fool, 5 months. The Pain, 5 months. Brian Robinson, 5 months. DC Lanier, 4 months. Muhammad Isa, 3 months. Sean, 4 months. Fresh Stylers Inc. Podcasting, 2 months. Deontay Thomas, 5 months. Ramon Brown, 2 months. WWE AEW Marvel Fan, 5 months. Channel Member of the Week. Swift 718, 3 months. Go Jackets, 3 months. Rage Hall, 2 months. Ron C, 23, 5 months. Eric Newton, 5 months. Jeremy Harris, 1 month. Willard Bayless, 5 months. Corey Mitchell, 1 month. Tacos for Tonight, 2 months. Renee G, 5 months. Deshaun Sanders, 1 month. Jason Barker, 1 month. Gruss512, 1 month. James Miller, 6 months. Sae Parker, 6 months. Soldierman 1984, 6 months. Ali, 29 days. Dylan Hubish, 29 days. Jonathan S., 28 days. Eddie Logan, 25 days. Patrick Charles, 5 months. Kimberly Walters, 23 days. Jay Khan, 4 months. Sassy 2208, 1 month. Neon Firefly, 3 months. Sassy 2208, 22 days. What I got? 2 Sassy 2208s? I love it. Double the membership. David 77, 22 days. Kevin Johnston, Sabres News Consolidated, 5-month membership. Jeremy Orr, 21 days. Michael Thayer, 20 days. Sheriff Rivers, 4 months. Lawrence Cherry, 19 days. Spicy Mama McCaleb, 2 months. D Money A Cash, 16 days. Carlton Bartley, 3 months. Mike Coldren, 2 months. Titan Poetic Chef, 5 months. Brad Boyer, 10 days. Clutch City Fan, 6 months. Kevin MD, 6 months, and Jay, 5 months. So a little scattered with the 6 and 5s. Maybe some had to unsubscribe to the channel for a week or two, and maybe it was within a time frame that they got to keep their time. I don't know. Others kind of had to reset. Guys, that's the roll call. We did it with 1% battery left, man. I saw the camera go, and I really had to rock it, man. I hope you enjoyed that roll call. Much love and respect. It was a double amplification day, double dose of BC. I really hope you enjoyed it, man. You guys are the reason that I love to do this. You keep BC amplified, not just through the coffees, but the great conversation and always showing up to show that appreciation to what I do. And you make it easy for me to keep coming back and doing it. Till next time, and there will be a next time. Top guy, I'm out. BC saying check you.